Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cosmic Conversations. I'm your host, Sheila Seppi, and you're watching us and listening to us on the Conscious Awakening Network. Now, if you're viewing us on our website, I want to welcome you and invite you to take a look around, especially check out all of the events that we have coming up. And that's just a few. We have tons of events planned for you. So check them out. Keep checking the site every week. Now, I think you're going to love what you see. And if you don't, please let us know. And if you've got some ideas for us, please let us know. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're listening to us on any of our podcast locations, I want to thank you so much. We really do appreciate it. And I appreciate all the text and the emails that you guys have been sending me lately. Mwah! Much love to you. And I really do appreciate all your kind words. Now, if you have not already, please go to your phone app store, download our phone app, and you will be able to watch us no matter where you go. Also, you can check us out on Roku, Amazon, Apple TV, Android TV, and Samsung. Just download our free app. You can kick back in your living room and watch us anytime. Now, a couple quick announcements before we bring our speaker on. May 9th through the 11th at the New Living Expo, I'm going to be talking Sunday the 11th at 11. I want you to come and join me there. I'm going to be talking about the multidimensional grid. I'm going to be talking about how we fit in with the universal structures. I'm going to be talking about my latest book. I'm going to also be giving an activation from Elder Mother Tiamu to help align and to activate those grids that are in your field. And also, I'm going to be speaking at the Light Language Conference. Now, for those of you who have written that you really wanted to come to the Light Language Conference, but just hadn't been able to find the time to book your flights, to get the room, guess what? It's now going to be online. So May 30th through June 1st, you can check it out at the consciousawakeningnetwork.org. Look for the Light Language Conference and you can sign up and join us. Now, for our guest tonight, I'm super, super excited because we have Ashley Pfeiffer with us, and she's also known as Metaphysical Ash. She's a spiritual guide, a meditation coach, and she helps awaken souls to navigate their sensitivities and to step into their power. And boy, do we need that now with all the energies that are flooding into the planet. Now, through sound healing, sacred wisdom, and deep embodiment practices, she empowers others to align with their highest selves. Tonight, she's going to talk with us about building your light body, a gateway to cosmic citizenship. So we're going to take a deep dive into the awakening process and the role of embodiment in aligning with the higher frequencies. We're also going to explore how to build your light body and attune to the crystalline grid, which of course is near and dear to my heart, and to support your physical body form through practical tools, wisdom, and lived experience. So it is my honor and my privilege to bring up Miss Ashley. Hey, Ashley.
Hi,
Thanks
Sheila.
so much for being here, honey.
Thank you for that beautiful introduction. Every time you speak, it activates my high heart. I can feel it, and I just genuinely really enjoy being in your presence and a part of your community.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks so much. Well, you know what? It's part of your community because it's part of the Conscious Awakening Network community and family now. So thanks so much for being here, for being part of it. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you. If you have anything else that you want to share with people about yourself, please feel free to do so. Let people know what's happening with you, what's going on. If you've got any new classes or anything, we'd love to hear.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Well, I guess I consider myself a spiritual guide and a meditation coach, but I'm more of just I am state. I am. And I've transitioned my body into a tuning fork for the environments, situations, and experiences I navigate. So a little bit about me. I had a awakening journey. I had a third wave of awakening, and that inspired a spontaneous Kundalini awakening. During that time, I went through a significant purge which led me to understand some of the deeper complexities of our life, how we create things and position ourselves into different places and spaces and times and dimensions. Understanding your light body. I felt it might be nice to share some of the basics of sacred geometry, the Merkaba. So the upward triangle, the downward triangle, you can actually use those to meditate and position yourself in there to harmonize yourself more with your higher self, your spirit. Um, and I do have some talking points. I didn't prepare a presentation. If it's okay, I kind of felt that we would do like conversational. Does that work for you?
That sounds great. I
Okay.
love it.
Yeah, that would probably be easiest. I have some talking points, but I think just if we could just engage in conversation.
Yeah. Well, actually, let me ask, when you talk about the light body, can you explain exactly what that is to people?
My interpretation of the light body is the instruction set, which contributes to how you create yourself in space and time. So, the light body, from a scientific standpoint, is your aura or your morphogenetic field. It's the subtle fields around you. So, even as we're in this room and you're participating in this conversation, you can tune in to your light body. So notice the physical form, your bones, your soft tissue, and then the space around you, 360 degrees. Now you're starting to tune into the subtle energetics, what creates your physical form in space and time. And that's the light body. Oh, I think you might have muted, Sheila.
Yeah, I was just saying that's beautiful. And I was also wondering if you could share just a little bit. Typically when we start talking about our light bodies, we've had those experiences to where we've really gotten in touch with our own light body. And have you had a particular experience? I know you mentioned the Kundalini experience. Maybe you could share a little bit about that, but also talk about, what does it feel like to really drop into that light body?
Oh boy, it can feel a lot of different ways depending on where we are on our journey. Dropping into the light body is basically just presence in the physical form. So if you were to close your eyes and notice your skin, and then bring awareness to all the space inside of you, this is going to innately tune you more into your light body because there's feedbacks. What's inside of you directly communicates with the external, and then the external directly communicates with the inside. So we have a few things that happen during the spiritual awakening. We start to purge out, clear, and recalibrate the internal programming, which contributes to the structure of our light body. And that's where we position ourselves in different place, time, experiences. We also have where we can tune into the divine, our higher self, that essence of creation, and intend, just by intending to know creation itself, you can actually change the structure of your light body, bring in new codes, new information, new instructions for how you position, place yourself in space and time. And from personal experience, this also changes your logic.
Now, explain that just a little bit. What do you mean?
So, through my personal journey, as I've committed to this path, to know to know God, to know my creator, you will reach different levels of mastery. It comes through experience, through what you're drawing towards you, your relationships, your opportunities, your finances. It's all an indicator of what's going on inside. And as you see it externally, if it's not your preference, if it's not your desire, if you know it's not necessarily what's meant for you, you can take that intention to know your creator, you can move it inward, and you can pinpoint what exactly might be happening inward that's contributing to the creation around you.
Beautiful. I love that. I love that. Now, you said you had a few talking points. Do
Mhm.
you want to share some other things? And I'll stop asking so many questions and then I'll jump back in.
I love your questions because I guess I got a little nervous coming on and speaking. So it's
Oh,
very helpful.
well, great, great.
Yeah. So understanding the light body. I think something that could be, I know what could be really helpful is just the general practice of meditation. And it's really underrated, but it is the absolute number one thing that you can do to build your light body and to tune into that crystalline grid, which Sheila talks about. And I wanted to share a little bit like a fast track way we can actually tune into that through meditative practice and self-awareness. If we're open to it, I can take us through that practice.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Thank you.
So, in order to tune into your field, you first want to acknowledge the breath. So you introduce yourself to the breath. You want to feel that moving in through the nose, expanding the lungs, and then notice your body 360 degrees. You may want to close your eyes and then gently open them. This is going to give you a sense of your energetic awareness. So as you close your eyes, you might notice it's easier to tune in to what's going on inside of you, the space within the skin. And then you open just to reference yourself in space and time, to make sure you're holding yourself steady in the body. Sometimes what happens when our body is heavy, it's full of trauma or heaviness or distortions. We might want to exit our body, but the goal is to remain inside of your body, as your body is the portal, it's the ultimate technology, it's the tool for your evolution. And then you can expand your practice a little bit further. So notice the breath, notice the body, notice the spine. Spine is very important. And maybe you want to give yourself a little wiggle just to make sure you're really tuned into your spine. See if you can feel that membrane in between each vertebrae. Really introduce yourself to the spine. This is your vertical axis. And the spine is where we tend to get a lot of energetic cords or manipulation or things that stick onto us. They tend to make their way into the spine. So notice your spine. And then we're going to tune into the heart, which is right here. And if it helps to bring awareness to your heart, you can actually place your hand there. Breathing in, noticing your heart, aware of the spine. Now you're in your body. Notice the top of your head, the bottom of your feet, the front of your body, the back of your body, left to right, right to left, from the inner to the outer. And this is your intention to know yourself, to align with your highest potential, and to reclaim any and all aspects of your being, any and all light fragments throughout all space and time, in total and full service to your highest potential. So it's just an intention. Notice what shows up for you. The more still you get, the more you'll notice where you might have vulnerabilities in your energy field or heaviness. Breathe into it. Try not to avoid it, but just go a little bit deeper in. Now that you're tuned into your body, you're going to want to visualize a triangle. This symbolizes the masculine force of creation. And then an upside down triangle. This symbolizes the feminine force of creation. You can use basic shapes to actually help you harmonize your field. So now you would imagine yourself in a Merkaba, also known as David's star, I believe. It's a six-pointed star. And as you breathe in deeply, allow yourself to rest in that Merkaba. And it may expand to encase your entire body, or you may shrink it to harmonize different chakra centers. So this is deeper esoteric work, but your soul is going to understand symbolism. Symbolism is a universal language, and you can use it to harmonize the spin of your chakra centers, the energy of your field. So it's a really easy, practical application. You can start your day tuning in, checking in with the body, our emotional field, our mental field, because you are so much larger than your physical form. So just notice how you feel in this moment as you're intending to connect more deeply with your higher self, as you're building your light body. If this feels easy, you can take that Merkaba and you can position it in your third eye. And you can spin that Merkaba. And as you spin that beautiful shape that symbolizes perfect balance of masculine and feminine energy, it begins to spark, to illuminate, opening the third eye, front to back. And you might notice plasmic light streams extending forward and backward. This is opening your third eye, harmonizing that space. And just observe anything that shows up for you. If the mind wanders, come back into the body. Breathe, using breath as your tool. And this is something you can play with. You can take that Merkaba, you can move it down to the throat. Harmonize, balance, regulate. And then take it down to the high heart, the thymus. This area right here, also known as the thymus, this is a very special area for those who are empathic or empaths. This is an area that tends to be most vulnerable. So this is an area to bring awareness to. You can bring your Merkaba down to your thymus. Spin it, using breath as your tool, expanding that light front to back. If you're feeling extra ambitious, spiral that light around you. So as each chakra harmonizes front to back, it also begins to create a sphere around you. And then continuing the practice down the heart, solar plexus, sacral, root, allowing that vertical line to harmonize, balance, lock you in with your higher self. And now you're building your light body. It's really very, very simple. It's intention and just a few basic tools. Notice how you feel. Then you want to take that Merkaba and you want to shoot that down to just a foot below your feet. There's actually a chakra that exists there that locks you in with the heart of our beautiful planet and supports you. So this is somewhat of a pedestal that we reside on. And if you observe your pedestal, see where you are in reference to your pedestal. Is it aligned to your body, or is it a little off balance? And that's very telling. It's a telling. That tool can let you know if you require a little bit of recalibration in your light body. And these are some of the basic ways that you can begin working more with the subtle fields of energy, the subtle energetics. And you can actually take that time where you're still. Maybe you have 5 minutes, 10 minutes in the middle of your day in between appointments to align with your highest potential through intention and practice and discipline, and connect directly with the crystalline grid. So as you notice the spine, harmonize the chakras, you're using sacred geometry to support you. Now you want to bring awareness to the heart center. And you want to find a stability point. I call it a stability point. It's basically a label for a frequency or an instruction set that already exists within you. Any moment in time, any memory that you have where your life was absolutely aligned, all was well, everything felt just right. See if you can find that memory. Remember that experience. Notice the details. Bring that into the heart. So we're tuning in to the frequency, the instruction behind that memory, and you're going to use that to stabilize yourself in space and time. So no matter where you are, no matter what you're going through, maybe you just had a really challenging experience or conversation, you're feeling frazzled, you're feeling heavy, you can use that as a stability point to recalibrate you and reconnect you with the crystalline grid. It's a frequency, but it's also an instruction set. And it's a beautiful tool to connect us with the experiences we truly desire. So notice where you are, how you are, front of the body, back of the body, top of the head, bottom of the feet. See if you can get 360-degree awareness. We want to turn our body into a tuning fork. So you are no longer impacted by the environment, but you are impacting the environment. And this is where, when you really claim that, when you really command that, you can move into different situations and places and experiences that are challenging and not be distorted, not be impacted, because you're solid, you're secure, you know your energy field from the inner to the outer. And this is how you build your light body. So notice how you feel. Any ideas, images that come up for you, let them float like waves on the water. Just gently observe as you come back into self. And feel free to share in the chat how you feel, what you're experiencing.
That was beautiful.
Thank you, Sheila.
Beautiful. I have a question about, as we begin to expand out of our bodies, some people have shared with me that even if they're doing the exercise in their own home, that as they expand out, they start to pick up like this nervous energy. Can you speak to what some of that energy might be?
The nervous energy. So as you expand out, you start to experience like static. Is that what you're thinking? Like static?
I think what, I mean, I'm not sure if they were picking up the electrical impulses from the houses, because, some people get really super sensitive when they're in these types of meditations, or if they're picking up energy off of other people or animals in the home. And I was just wondering what your viewpoint on that is.
Okay, so my viewpoint on that is you can build your discernment and you can discern what is, in divine order by how it feels and what might be distortion, such as EMF. So clean, clear energy, organized energy feels spherical. It feels light. It doesn't feel heavy and it doesn't feel static. If you're noticing static, use the breath as your tool. Notice your skin. Imagine your skin as that barrier. So, in those instances, and even in situations where you might have to be around a lot of people or you're moving into public, you want to condense yourself. You want to bring your field in really, really tight, almost, maybe 6 inches from your skin. And you want to secure yourself in that. That's very helpful. A lot of things that help with this are mineral support, proper sleep, good diet, detox. But cell salts are game changing when it comes to electrosensitivities.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. So, as someone is working to build their light bodies, do you think that it's a good idea for them also to maybe tweak their own personal diet just a little bit? And if so, what types of foods or beverages would you recommend?
This is the beautiful thing about building your practice. You're going to get to know exactly what you need through the simple intention of knowing your creator, tuning into your body. And I mean, really tuning in. Let's quiet the mind, introduce yourself to your bones, your soft tissue, your organs. Notice what's going on inside of you. You might even want to take a few minutes, put your hand on your liver, and make an introduction. Your body is going to tell you what it needs. You're going to provide yourself the synchronicities through your structure of reality to show you exactly what you need. To each their own. We have different blood types. We also have different gifts and abilities. And there are some things, really good fresh mineral water. I go through different stages. Sometimes I'll do fresh spring mineral water. Other times I'll do distilled with gray sea salt. But it hasn't always been that way. So through my journey, the diet has changed, the process has changed, and you have to trust yourself. So you're not looking outside for anyone to tell you. Through this practice, you're awakening your own genius, your own brilliance. You're going to build exactly what you need specifically for your genetics and for the angles of consciousness that you're meant to connect with. Whatever galactic intelligence is encoded within you will speak to you when you go inward and set that intention. And I know how hard it is when you're in the thick of it and you want to know, you need to know, everything's crazy, you're awakening up. But if I could go back and tell myself what I know now, I would strongly encourage that you learn how to get really still because you're going to save yourself a lot of time, probably a lot of money, and a lot of hurt just by tuning into yourself and building that relationship with the physical body, the innate intelligence inside of you, that it's going to show up in your reality through synchronicity. But the few things I can suggest that I think everybody should have is cell salts. We definitely need to detoxify our colon, limit our oils. We need a really good lymphatic flow. If the lymph gets backed up, you can definitely expect your intuition to be off because of the toxicity.
And anything else that you can think of um, in helping to support people as they're building their light bodies? Because so many people are waking up. They have new questions. They're trying to find ways to ground, ways to, expand outwards so that ascension process can begin to occur and solidify. So, any other suggestions you might have in that area?
Different body movements, like this is actually extremely simple, the prayer position, but this can actually balance you as well. This can harmonize you. And then noticing both sides of the head, which tends to be areas that are for people on the awakening journey, whether you're newly awakened or even, deep into your journey, there are energy vortices and chakra centers, and they tend to be the most manipulated. So really just bringing awareness, grounding into your body through that awareness.
Great, thank you. And I want to circle back to something you said. You were talking about the galactic intelligence. Can you speak a little bit to that?
Yeah. Well, we all kind of have a little bit of ET inside of us, and it tends to it's showing up now, through synchronicity and alignment and just that there's something inside of you that knows. You just know there's more. You want to know more. And as you intend that, as you're open to that, synchronicities come in, the galactics come in. It's a really interesting technology, the structure of reality and how they can communicate with us through the subtle energetics. But you want to build your light body and your energetic awareness so you can discern what is meant for you and what may be like an insert or holographic interference. Um, yeah.
Now, can you talk a little bit about holographic interferences?
Yeah, let me talk about because this is something not a lot of people talk about this. So that's where our own bias or judgments or fears can actually show up in our structure of reality. It's also where sometimes the awakening can become hijacked through interference that can stunt your growth. Maybe you're feeling something and then all of a sudden you get the intuitive nudge, oh, this is dangerous, this is wrong, this is evil. And then what happens? You start to provide yourself synchronicities that confirm that truth. That's a manipulation that will actually stunt your evolution, your spiritual growth, and it's a hijack. It's a consciousness hijack. So you always want to bring it back inward into the heart. And the more you build this, the more discernment grows, the more you're going to realize what is truth for me, what is in alignment with me, my soul, my highest path, and then what might be interference in the field.
Mhm, mhm. There was something you said a moment ago that just sparked a conversation that I had with a lady, and it was around the issue of the lack consciousness and how that energy becomes like a cancer inside the holographic field of us. And the fact, and when she referred to it as a cancer, the idea behind it was we begin to experience and we bring attention to it. And then the more attention we bring to it, the more we perceive that to actually be our reality because our holographic field really reflects back to us what we're sending out. And so, as more and more attention is brought to the lack, or I can't do this because it costs money, or whatever it might be, paying $10 for a dozen eggs, huh, you know, that kind of thing. No, but seriously, you know, looking at the way that we monitor our energy, I think is a good way that we can start to shift some of these perspectives because we also have to realize that even in saying, I have lack, we're putting the energy to that. And we also then are beginning to create that for ourselves. And the more we focus on it, of course, the more it grows. Just like you were saying, then things begin to be reflected back to us. Yes.
Absolutely, Sheila.
So,
Yeah.
do you have any um, ideas about how people can go in and maybe really quickly redirect some of that energy?
Oh, absolutely. What if you could? Why not you? It's really as simple as those two questions. So every thought that you think contributes to your dimension of experience. If you're telling yourself, I can't afford that, that's too much, I don't have enough, you're reinforcing that in your structure of reality. You're creating your dimension. And that's part of the manipulation. That's part of the frequency, warfare that we experience on this planet that comes through a lot of different avenues. And you asked me earlier if I had advice for those building their light buddy. I think one of the greatest things we can do for ourselves is ignore the news. Especially when you're newly awakened, you're highly sensitive, you're empathic, you're feeling everything so deeply. Disconnect from those frequencies until you've built a strong enough energetic structure around you where you can move in and not be impacted. And you'll know. Have fun with it. Play with it. So you're building your practice, and you're ready to test out your superpowers. You're ready to go to that family function or that event that usually triggers you. You don't really want to be there, but for some reason, sometimes you got to show face and notice how you feel. Start to tune in to the body. So you're not entertaining the ideas of, what so and so said or Uncle Jim over there. You're in your body, and you're in your body, and then you're noticing the space around you. So it's a shift from mentally dominant to energetically aware. Like we're really shifting how we navigate as human beings. And when it comes to our ET connections and cosmic citizenship, one of the greatest challenges for humanity is going to be where we are in resonance. In shifting ourselves, it requires a lot more than just thinking. We have to take action to shift our body, to connect more deeply with our soul, and to really honor what we feel. Because what you feel is going to tell you a lot more than the logical mind. The logical mind is limited based on what we've known up until now. But the heart, the feeling, that's quantum. It's infinite. It's a deeper, expanded intelligence that will help you navigate and move into magnificent experiences.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. And can you speak a little bit about how we can explore that wisdom of the electric heart? I've heard you speak of that before, and I was wondering if you could share.
Yeah, the electric heart. I I love it. I love it so much. So anytime you have a situation that is challenging, whether it's a relationship, career, spiritual development, really start shifting the authority from the mind to the electric heart. So you're going to start asking this questions, like really, really noticing it, like placing your hand on your heart. Even when you speak, start to practice in the mirror, your voice coming from your heart space. This is going to shift a lot. And then the intelligence coming from the heart space. When you're asking yourself truths about your reality or the people around you, always move it into the heart, into the electric heart.
Beautiful. Now, as we move into the electric heart, is that the place where we're going to start experiencing and cultivating more self-compassion and being able to extend that to others?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, when you first and foremost compassion for self, that's key. Really forgiving yourself. If there's any situations that you've ever had in your life that you feel regretful or hurt, where you've hurt someone or they've hurt you, you can actually use your heart to transform that, to transmute that. You can write yourself a letter You can speak it out loud through the heart, and you can shift that energy. You can alchemize.
Beautiful. Now, I know that a lot of times when people are working in that heart space, they do become highly sensitive. And this is a little different than empaths, but speaking of empaths, they also are very highly sensitive. So do you have any tools that people can use as they're building this energy, also learning how to, protect themselves so that they don't really get overloaded?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a process that it's not like a one and done. It's like I show up every day to build my energetic awareness so I know what is mine and what is others. And I have a lot of resources on my website. There's actually a resources tab, and you can click on that. It's all free. Um, the biggest thing is feeling feeling your body. When you know how you feel, you're going to know what's yours and what is someone else's. So it's actually really, really simple. The biggest challenge is commitment, committing to the practice of knowing your body, like taking 5, 10, 15 minutes a day to be present in your physical form, noticing your shoulders, the front of the body, the end of the body, inward to outward. So as I say that, just see how much of you can sense, you can tune into. Can you feel your lungs expand when you breathe? Can you notice where the sound is where you are? Do you feel where the sound hits you in your body? Are you aware of the back of your body? Do you notice what supports you? So these are little things that compound and build your energetic awareness. It's also going to build your psychic abilities and sensitivities.
Great, great. Now, how does all of these tools play into strengthening our chakras?
Okay, well, so you know your body and strength. How do all the tools work on strengthening the chakras? Um, Well, they harmonize. So when we know our body and we know what our body needs and we're tuned into the body, we know how we feel. So now we're activating our innate. That's the innate intelligence that exists within you when you decide to go inward. Just through observation and intention, it it illuminates. It comes up. The innate comes up. That's going to naturally harmonize your chakras, especially as you get to know the physical body, what it needs, what the lungs need, what the liver needs, what the digestion needs. All these systems are interconnected. And if we're not taking care of what's going on inside, the chakras are going to be out of balance and vice versa. So, I mean, I would say it's systematic. It just naturally, innately harmonizes the chakras by spending time in practice of knowing yourself and cultivating mindfulness.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, do you find that using tools such as crystals, sound healing, and those types of things really begin to help us awaken to tap into our intuition?
Oh, absolutely, Sheila. They sure do. Crystals are piezoelectric, so they'll work with the natural innate energy centers of your body, and they have beautiful intelligences. And the sound is also a beautiful tool to help you harmonize. And you can use these tools until you get to the point when you don't even need them. They're just they just support you, where you can actually you know yourself so well, you're tuned into your body, how you feel, that you can actually harmonize yourself without the tools, but they'll always be assets.
Wonderful. Any other tools or advice that you can give to people on how to really be able to, lock in to who they are in these times? Because it seems like, you know, whether it's talking with people, a lot of times people, yeah, that's right. And then they talk with someone else. Oh, yeah, I hadn't thought about that. Oh, yeah, maybe I need to change my mind about this. People are telling me they're feeling like they're being pulled apart by the pressures of life and the pressures of the world. What do you have to share with those people?
Oh boy. Sheila, I feel like you know what that is. It's a purity wave. This is consciousness. This is consciousness purifying itself. And we can ride that wave or we can fight it. So whatever shows up for you, however it shows up for you, don't judge it. If things are ugly, if things are nasty, just observe it. Stay committed to your path. I mean, it's inevitable. It's running through all of us, the purity wave. There's really I mean surrender. And by surrender, you know, you feel like you're getting pulled in a million different ways. You probably are. And so many of us have had aspects of our personality. Like we define ourselves by certain archetypes, and those archetypes are crumbling. So it's gonna feel like parts of you are dying, like you're being pushed through a grinder. Ride the wave. Use your mind as a tool. So don't let your mind use you. Use your mind as a tool. I will be fine. All is well. I am calm. I am love. I am peace. If that doesn't feel true for you, take a journey to the mirror. She is calm. She is well. She is peace. And if that doesn't work, use your first name while you're looking in your own eyes. Ashley is calm. She is well. She is peace. So you can use the technology of your body to actually program yourself and your structure of reality. And I hear you on that, being pulled in a million different pieces. That's happening, but we're also pulling back all of our pieces. So there's something really beautiful here. Wherever you are, however you are, don't judge it. Whatever anybody else is doing, that's their journey. You just focus on you. Tune in to who you are, how you are. Trust yourself more. Let yourself know you can trust yourself. That's actually going to reprogram your brain, which kind of operates like a GPS for how you position and place yourself in experiences. So you can actually reprogram your brain through thought. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, absolutely. And, as we begin to really cultivate all of these soul technologies and we begin to apply them in our lives, it's almost as if things around us just naturally begin to fall into place. We start to ride that wave of that, heart and mind coherence.
They can fall into place, they can also crumble. So don't be scared of
Also,
that
right.
also. That can happen too. And it might have you thinking, "Oh my goodness, there's something wrong with me. What did I do?" You didn't do anything wrong. This is the journey. This is the path. Let what needs to fall away, fall away. Trust yourself. Tune into your heart. No one's going to tell you what you need to do. You have to go inward, intend to know, and then allow your reality to kind of show you. But it starts with that inward journey.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Now, do you have any particular courses or classes that you're working on to offer people?
I have some things in the work that I haven't quite released yet, but I do have offerings on my website, which is just my first and last name. I definitely suggest, going, checking that out, clicking on the free resources. And then we also have a temple space. So I have a temple space on Conscious Awakening Network where I share different tips and tricks. I go a little bit deeper into some of those. I actually think I have one on there where I talk about the channeling chakra and some of the deeper complexities of that. So there's definitely resources out there. Take a look at my website. I offer one-on-one work for those who feel aligned.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, Ashley, you've got the attention of the entire world right now.
Oh gosh.
You're stepping up onto the podium. What do you want to share with people? What are
Actually,
you
I
hearing?
want to run out the door if everyone's watching me. Like, I'm just gonna keep it real.
So,
You're,
yeah. So if you,
what do I want to share?
yeah,
I
I
just want
mean,
you to know that you're loved, you're important, your presence is significant, you matter. No matter what you're doing, you can be sitting there laying in your bed eating bonbons. You matter because your energy contributes to what we're doing here. So if you ever feel like you're not important or you're not doing enough, one of the greatest things you can do is to be present in the essence of love. Find that stability point. So if you do anything, find that, feel it, and then let that spread through the environment because it does. Our bodies basically operate as a tuning fork. So if I could tell the world anything, I would want to tell every single person that you matter. You're important. You're valuable.
beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming and sharing with us tonight, providing us all these beautiful technologies that we can begin to implore into our lives. And so, if you guys want to learn more about Ashley, just visit her website, and it is her first and her last name. That's Ashley Pfeiffer, ASHLEAPIEFER.com. And I did want to spell that out for you because some of our listeners are listening to us on your favorite podcasting locations. And I'm always getting texts, have people to spell out their website address, please. So I'm going to try to really make an effort for you guys to do that. So thank you for bringing that to our attention so we can share at a deeper level with you.
Thank you so much, Sheila. And thank you, everyone, for being here and coming on. There's something really special happening when we create these containers.
Absolutely beautiful. Well, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, everyone, for watching and joining us tonight. I send you much love and hope you have a beautiful rest of your week. And until we're back together again, namaste. Have a beautiful week, everyone. Bye bye.